Well, good morning, everyone. Great to see you. And for those who are here in person and those who are joining us virtually, welcome. I'm Greg Dunaway, and as Dean of the Eberly College of Arts and Sciences, it is my utmost pleasure to welcome you to our first annual Eberly Roundtable with the inaugural theme, A Coming Together. After almost 2 years of not being able to be physically together, we have chose this theme to symbolize the prospect and possibility of once having again the opportunity to be in space together. While the COVID crisis continues to complicate our being physically together, it has also opened up possibilities for youth to be engaged and together in ways that we had not thought before. I'm happy to be here on the campus of West Virginia University, and I'm really happy that we have others joining us from across the world for this event. And we are indeed together. And we are back here with a purpose, and that purpose is to explore the too often overlooked Black presence, Black history, Black agency, Black artistic and production here in Appalachia. The Eberly College of Arts and Sciences, working with our partners and sponsors in the Office of the Provost, the Office of the Vice President for Research, the College of Creative Arts, the Center for Resilient Communities, and the WVU Press are here to support the work of scholars, performers, restorative practitioners, and teachers seeking to make the history and contribution of Black Appalachians visible. I'm very much looking forward to the multiple and rich conversations to come and our shared work to ensure that Black Appalachian history is celebrated and supported in the Eberly College of Arts and Sciences. To go off script a little bit here, when I have an opportunity to talk to folks about our college, I often lead with the Eberly College of Arts and Sciences is the largest of all of our academic colleges and the most diverse. Now, size is important. The amount of work that we do and the productivity that we do in our college is impactful, but it's really the diversity that I think is most important. Clearly, our students, our faculty, our staff have diverse backgrounds and experiences. Our programs, our portfolio programs are very diverse. We run the gamut from physics to philosophy. But it's really the diversity of thought and ideas that go on and exchange on a daily basis in this college that is most important. But diversity's impact through ideas and thought can really only be realized when all voices are heard. So I'm really glad we're having this event. I'm really glad that we're here today. I'm really glad that this is a forum for which voices can be heard. The other thing that we talk about in our college is that we're part of a larger land-grant university. Land-grant university's mission is very important to me, and I think it's important for everyone at WVU. Because a land grant, unlike other colleges whose goal is to both develop knowledge, discuss and debate knowledge, and disseminate knowledge, is part of our mission as well. But our mission goes beyond that, where we take our knowledge and put it in action. And so I hope as we conclude today, after lots of rich and meaningful discussions, that we think about what we've learned and we use that knowledge to do something meaningful with it. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Crystal Good, who will be providing opening remarks. Crystal Good is a poet and performer, finally in recovery from many karmic lessons. A Libra stellium who categorizes herself as an artist, advocate, and entrepreneur. In these roles, she applies her passion and communication skills to develop new opportunities and seek solutions while making her art a living experience. She is the founder and publisher of Black by God, the West Virginian, a news and storytelling organization centering Black voices in the Mountain State. Crystal, thank you for being here.
Good morning. Take this off, that's okay. How y'all feeling? Well, my name's Crystal Good. And it's my pleasure to be here with you today. I'm a recent graduate of the WVU Reed College of Media in the inaugural New Start class. And they just mailed me my diploma, right? I've earned 3 degrees in my lifetime. And I got to tell you that my master's from WVU is really by far the smartest degree and the smartest decision I've made. But WVU gave me support that I needed to get through the program. And today, this institution has invested in this, the Eberly Roundtable, right? First Eberly Roundtable to discuss Blackness, Black identity, Black agency, and the Black presence in Appalachia. And I am so proud to claim I'm a Mountaineer. All right. It's early. Let's get some energy moving. And when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I remembered why we were here to be together and to be in the tradition, to be in the lived tradition of this American Black life. And then I remembered what Alec Haley told Dr. Turner, write something your mother will read. So I'm just going to talk this morning, okay? And since we're all family today, y'all know better than to ask me if this is my hair, all right? I bought it, it's mine. And in this hair, it's that I want to tell you about one of my favorite Black Appalachians. That 1930s Paris Society cabaret queen, Ada Beatrice Queen Victoria Louise Virginia Smith, known as Brick or Bricky, and the world knows her as Brick. Bricktop was known and named for her crown of flaming red hair, freckles, and powerful presence. She taught Josephine Baker to Charleston. That's the impact of Black Appalachian women. Bricktop also ran Paris nightlife. I mean, she ran Paris nightlife. Go ahead, you can Google it while I'm talking. She had an utter optimism for life and nostalgia for home that motivated her to walk through those chic, elegant, well-dressed spaces that she curated. She owned clubs in 3 countries and reigned as the American nightclub queen in Europe for 40 years. She's important for many reasons, but for me and for the work I do, to the imagination I'm working in to develop Black by God, the West Virginia. Because the first question I usually get asked about my developing news and storytelling organization that seeks to center the voices of Black West Virginians is, why Black by God? Why the name? Because I want to tell you more about Bricktop. Bricktop was born on August 14th, 1894, in Alderson, West Virginia, the 3rd child of Hattie and Thomas Smith. After her birth, the neighbors came to see the new baby, each of them offering suggestions for the name. The Smiths didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so they let the town of Alderson name their new red-haired baby, including the pharmacist who provided free sponges and soaps to the family for honoring his request. So the pharmacist, the butcher, the baker, the lady down the street with the pretty rose bushes, they all had a hand in naming Ada Beatrice Queen Victoria Louise Virginia Smith, who became known as Bricktop. The town of Alderson, West Virginia named her. And her West Virginia lore doesn't end there. For those of you not from West Virginia, we West Virginians have a way of separating ourselves from the other Virginia and announcing our presence by saying West by God Virginians. Some say that the by God was first heard at a WVU basketball game when the team entered the hotel after a stunning victory and a fan yelled, "It's West by God Virginia!" Another tale claims it was in a meeting during the state splitting era when a founder claimed, "We shall be West by God Virginia." But I believe if anyone could transform language, spreading the word in today's Black Twitter sense, it was Ada Beatrice Queen Victoria Louise Virginia Smith Bricktop. The town of Alderson, West Virginia, named her so that the world would remember a Black woman from West Virginia and how her and other trailblazers like her from the region have impacted and inspired the world today. Their stories are just waiting to be told. You see, Bricktop always praised and claimed that she was from West by God, Virginia. She was Bricktop from West by God, Virginia to Langston Hughes, to Cole Porter, to the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, to F. Scott Fitzgerald, and to the many who met her across her life until her death in 1961. So to me, the curiosity of the lore of by God can rest in her beginnings. So let me welcome you today to Black by God, West Virginia. Now, I should say that Bricktop was vehemently opposed to using Black to describe Negroes or color. She talks about this in her biography, but we know that language evolves, and we know that the youth always drive those changes. I think Bricktop would be the first to put her email in blackbygod.org to receive our newsletters. And I hope that you will too. Folks, I'm 47 years young tomorrow, and Black by God is my 17-year-old dream. In fact, I tried to buy the last Black newspaper in West Virginia, the Beacon Digest, when I was 16 years old. Now I'm the only Black newspaper in West Virginia, but I come from a rich tradition of the Black press in West Virginia that dates back to 1882 in the Pioneer Press. Dreams do come true, and today is certainly the manifestation of dreamers, past and present. We need the story makers and storytellers now more than ever. And I'm here to remind you that Bricktop's success was made by bringing people together. And she blended performance, culture, and entrepreneurship to create her own freedom inside America's caste system of inequality. She never used a microphone because she believed in the intimacy and the art of talking and coming together. We are in for the most inspiring day, and some of what we will learn together will be equally as shocking, but we are together. And it's in together that we have survived. I'm a proud Appalachian, a Black Appalachian as far back as I can trace. My white granddaddy too used to remind me that I was West Virginia before West Virginia was West Virginia, and I am. Now, my granddaddy's whiteness was challenging as whiteness is, but he instilled in me the stories of Blair Mountain and the unique and blended history of mountain people called the Appalachians. The word Appalachian means more to me than what the ARC defines. And last week, Nikki Giovanni told me, and Akeshi, that the word Appalachian means peace. And today, I know that we are making the way for the next generation to remember and keep striving for liberation of Black people, because we know that is the only true peace. And while in the in-between, I remember that I come from Appalachian moonshine and Black women, risk takers who made a way for me to be here today, giving me a connection to the most incredible story, the story of Black Appalachia. And that includes Bricktop, who claimed not only that she was West by God Virginian, but that she was 100% Negro with a trigger Irish temper. My name is Crystal Good. Thank you for being here and allowing me to share my thoughts. I look forward to seeing you again at the close of the day, and I will pass the mic back to Dr. Thank you.
So it falls to me to introduce Lupe Davidson, and could go on. I could say, the perfunctory things, that Lupe Davidson is our Woodburn Professor of Women and Gender Studies. She also serves as my colleague in the Dean's Office as our Associate Dean for Social Justice, Faculty Development and Innovation. She joined our faculty about 3 years ago, having a very successful tenure at Oklahoma University. But that's all surface stuff. Over the course of 3 years that I've known Lupe, she has truly transformed our college and challenged me and made my work more meaningful. This event came kind of innocently enough in the sense that I was opening my mail and I got a flyer from WVU Press. And I happened to look through it and I saw Dr. Turner's book being publicized in its upcoming release. And it spoke to me because the word Harlan Renaissance, as I was just telling Dr. Turner, my mother was born in Harlan County. So you applaud, but for my mother, that was a source of shame for much of her life. And I can tell you, I just visited with my mom. Unfortunately, she's in the hospital right now. She still is coming to grips with her upbringing, her poverty, and issues like that. She was born, my grandmother was very young, let's say, when she was born. And so I've always wanted to know more about that place. I was there very early in my life, but at any rate, I saw the flyer, and Lupe and I usually, when I'm around, have coffee once a day. She graciously brings me great coffee, and I make it, and we usually sit for a while and talk. And I showed her the flyer, and I said, you know, maybe we should think about inviting Dr. Turner to come. And so wheels started spinning, and within probably a 24-hour period of time, she came back and said, I think we should do more. I think we should make this a larger event where we talk about issues of race in Appalachia. And I think we should call this a roundtable, and we should do this on an annual basis, and we should invite scholars from around the region. And West Virginia University should be a place where these issues are discussed and debated and celebrated. And you can't help but be enthusiastic when somebody presents these great ideas the way she does. At some point, I have to say, well, what's the budget going to be? It didn't matter because we have lots of friends who are sharing this, and the investment that we make today, I think, will be very, very worthwhile. But if I had to sum up who Lupe is, she's a person that takes ideas and makes them bloom into something very beautiful. And so you're all part of this beautiful event. And I really want to thank you. I didn't get a chance to do that, but for all the participants here today, those who are coming from different places around the region, as well as our colleagues at WVU, I want to thank you for being part of this. And Lupe, I want to thank you.
Hey, so hi everyone. It's good to see you all. I was remarking last night that I've been thinking about this day since like April of this year. And just to see everyone last night together during Dr. Turner's talk, which was amazing, by the way. I was between like two emotions, and that was like tears and tears, right? And they were both like tears of joy and just awe of the people who were present with us. So thank you for sharing your time. I know it's early. And so that even makes it more special that so many people are present today. I do want to say that there are some comments coming in via the chat that I will take care of in a moment, just about making sure that people's names are on the screen and everything. So I might have some brief remarks, and then we're just going to move on into why we're here today, and that's for the discussion. And by the way, best dean ever. He is the best dean ever. I'm gonna clap for him. I show up at this man's office, and I just be like, hey, Greg, and I think he wants to run away because he knows I'll be asking for some money. But he always comes through, and I just really appreciate it. And so it's my pleasure to welcome you here to our very first Eberly Roundtable. And again, thank you to my dean for his commitment to equity and justice. And I want to thank everyone in the dean's office for their help, especially Jessica McGee, who just started and just jumped right in, and she's been doing all of the publicity and snapping pictures. And so thank you, Jessica. And I want to say a very special thank you to Dylan Butler, who has just been running all the logistics, right? Everybody's like Dylan, right? So in the room, Dylan comes here for us. And so like the dean said, I brought this idea to him about about hosting the roundtable. But what I really wanted to do, and it was pretty selfish, is I just wanted to bring like a bunch of brilliant people together for a day. And that's what it really is, like, and so you get the room, you provide the food, and you get out of the way and you just let the brilliance happen, right? And so what was it gonna be like for me to just have all these brilliant people together in a room thinking with one another and with members of our campus and broader community on issues important to our land grant mission. And I think that we couldn't have thought of and today think together on a more salient issue, and that's the issue of Blackness in Appalachia, right? That is for me the issue of this moment. It is the issue perhaps for all moments. And so I'm very proud to have played a small role in creating space for this important conversation to occur. And I am so happy that you're here, right? You are so most welcome on our campus and to our university and to Morgantown, West Virginia. By way of logistics, each session is going to last about 90 minutes. And so we're going to really be doing some talking today. Right? So if you go to normal conferences, they have you in there for like 50 minutes, 3, 5, 10 speakers, you get 2 minutes, they put you out. No, we are going to talk today, right? And we're going to talk afterwards as well. That's why we're here. In the first 30 minutes or so, you're going to hear from one of our esteemed speakers. Afterwards, and very much so in what I envision in my mind and in my heart, a call and response, right? Call and response. You're going to hear from 2 respondents who will bring their questions, their ideas, their dialogue, right, and engage the speaker. And then for the final 30 minutes, it's going to be open to us, right? Those of us who are in the room. And if you're on Zoom, don't let that picture fool you. This room is filled, right? This room is filled. I'm so, again, happy everyone's here. So if you are on Zoom, please make sure that you put your comments, your questions in the chat or use the Q&A function as we go. I'm going to act as moderator and also keep time for our speakers. And so I think we're ready to begin.